You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu es l'image de Dieu.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu es l'image de l'amour.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu sei la luce di Dio.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu sei il volto dell'amore.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of God. The face of God. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are a part of me. A part of me. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
I hold you in my heart.
Eres la cara del amor.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face
Tu
of
sei la luce di Dio.
You are the face
You
of
are
God.
the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
es
God.
l'image de Dieu.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
sei
God.
la luz de Dios.
You are the face
You
of
are
God.
the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of God.
روح خدایی.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face of
Eres la luz de Dios.
You are the face of You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu es l'image de Dieu.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu es l'image de l'amour.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu sei la luce di Dio.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu sei il volto dell'amore.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of God. The face of God. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are a part of me. A part of me. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
I hold you in my heart.
Eres la cara del amor.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face
Tu sei la luce di Dio.
You are the face
You
of
are the
God.
face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
es
God.
l'image de Dieu.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
sei
God.
la luz de Dios.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
God. You are the face
Tu
of God.
ruh خدایی.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face of
Eres la luz de Dios.
You are the face of
Good morning. Welcome to the Spiritual Life Center's online service. Please join us this morning as we sing together, Surely the Presence.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
And now let us pray. Loving Spirit, we come together this morning in joy and anticipation, of opening our minds and hearts to the beautiful essence of your presence within us and all around us. We give thanks for this day, for this opportunity to come together and share in spirit. We give thanks for our growing awareness of your presence in our lives. We release the old and open ourselves to a new and higher vibration this day and each day as we go forward. And we give thanks for this awakening of soul and spirit in the name and through the power of the living, loving, and indwelling Christ. And so it is. Amen.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. It's love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. It's the love that heals, the love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love sets me free. There is only love. 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 There is only love.
And so we move now into our time of quiet prayer and meditation, aware that prayer is a sacred time to commune with Spirit. And in this quiet time, we focus our attention on the presence of God within. We feel our oneness with God and allow ourselves to be nourished and renewed by that presence. Gratitude and appreciation fill our hearts for the many blessings in all aspects of unfolding life. In this awareness of divine goodness, we unite with others, other praying hearts around the community, within our spiritual community, and around the world. We are at peace as we center in this sacred activity of prayer. And we are encouraged to allow these words to resonate with our hearts and minds, to become the affirmations of our spiritual essence. I am calm and serene. I allow a deep cleansing breath to bring my awareness to this moment. As I become still, I remember that I am one with God. I choose to release any anxious thoughts and let a calm peace wash over my soul. I am serene as I let go and relax in God's goodness. I am nourished by God's ever-present love. The energy of God revitalizes me. I draw my attention to the life of God that permeates my very being. I am one with God, and I am filled with energy and vitality. Every cell, every tissue and fiber of my body is renewed and vibrates in joy and anticipation. I am radiantly whole and vibrantly alive. I rest in the healing presence of God. My body is in life's dynamic flow of health and well-being. When the outer appearances seem to be telling me otherwise, I open my heart to God, allowing the flow of good, of divine wholeness to wash over me, renewing every cell. I claim my health and wholeness now. I live in an abundant universe. Thoughts of gratitude fill my heart as I visualize God's abundant universe. I am one with God, and I am immersed in the flow of divine good. I trust in divine ideas to prosper me. I trust in divine ideas to prosper me and those I love. I am open and receptive and ready to receive God's infinite blessings. And I give thanks for the abundance of God that showers over me in this now moment. Spirit inspires my decisions. I am one with God. The still small voice of Spirit is always present, always available. And so I take time now to listen, to turn within to my inner wisdom, and allow myself to be gently guided in what is mine to do. I let go and focus on what is before me, knowing that I am inspired by Spirit. In this awareness of oneness, I am immersed in the radiant light of God, and I listen. I am healed, whole, and healthy, and all is well. In the sacredness of prayer, I feel restored and at peace. I am energized and renewed by divine love. And through my awareness of oneness with God, I feel deeply connected to all beings. This sense of connection creates a feeling of peace and wholeness that I envision and affirm for all people everywhere. I continue to bless the world through my peaceful thoughts and prayers, for I know that I am healed, whole, and healthy, and all is well. And as I prepare to return to this time and this place, to the activities of this day, I do so with gratitude and grace. I bring the awareness of wholeness, of the healing power of divine grace with me to this now moment, as we join together in singing and praying our Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought. I have the power to change my life. And if you ask me what am I am beauty, I am joy, I am more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I can choose to be the light that brightens someone's darkest night. I'm so much more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life.
I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I love that song. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a song by Sue K. Riley. And the lyrics are just spot on as they suggest that we are not our thoughts. We are not our experiences, but we are the essence of being that chooses and gives life to our thoughts, to what we, and that essence of being that chooses our thoughts and chooses to give life to them is what we call consciousness. Today's theme is it really is all consciousness. And the whole idea of consciousness brings to mind a story for me about a woman who went to get a haircut. I got the opportunity to go for one myself recently, and how exciting it was to be able to go to a hairdresser again. But this story is about a woman who was traveling to Rome, so she wanted to have her hair cut for her trip to Rome. And as she told her hairdresser about this wonderful trip she was planning to Rome, he said, "Rome? Why would you want to go to Rome? It's just dirty and overcrowded. I went there once and it was the worst vacation I ever had. But, well, what airline are you flying on?" And she said, "Well, we're flying on American Airlines." And he said, "American Airlines? Oh, they are the worst. They have the oldest planes in service. Their flight attendants are rude and they're always late. Oh, good luck with flying American." And so he said, "But where are you staying? At least tell me you're staying someplace nice." And she said, "Well, we're staying at this beautiful place called the Valencia." The Valencia. Oh my gosh, how can you stay at the Valencia? It is the most horrible hotel. I've been there. The rooms are small and dingy. They're so old and the staff is really rude. Oh, good Lord. What is it you want to do? Why are you going to Rome? And the lady said, "Oh, well, I really hope to meet the Pope. I hope to meet the Pope. Wouldn't it be wonderful to meet him in person?" And the hairdresser just says, "Oh, you could just forget that. There's no way you're going to meet the Pope. In fact, you'll be lucky if he looks like an ant off in the distance past the thousands of people in front of you in the crowds. Well, good luck with your trip to Rome." And so about a month later, maybe 5 or 6 weeks, that's how long it takes me before I got to get back in there to the hairstylist. She went back for another haircut, and the hairdresser asked her, how was her trip to Rome? And she said, it was the most beautiful, wonderful experience of my life. I loved Rome. Every moment of it was beautiful. And she said, you know, we took American Airlines and they had just added new planes to their fleet. And we were on the maiden voyage on our plane. And the stewardesses were excited, and they were, the food was absolutely amazing for airline food. We couldn't believe it. We landed 10 minutes early, and then we were picked up and taken to the Valencia, which had just undergone 6 months of renovation and retraining their staff. The rooms were, the whole place was just beautiful and spick and span. And to get this, they had messed up something about our reservation, and they felt so bad that they gave us the owner's suite for the entire trip. So we stayed in what was like an Italian villa for our entire trip. It was fabulous. And the hairdresser was like, oh, well, glad you had such a wonderful time. But I bet you didn't meet the Pope now, did you? And she said, you'd be amazed, but I actually did meet the Pope. There we were at the Vatican, and thousands of people. And one of the Pope's guards came up and tapped me on the shoulder and said, the Pope likes to meet in person with some of the people that come to see him. Would you mind following me to this room over here? The Pope would like to see you. And so I did, you know, I followed him. I went through this door, and the next thing I know, the Pope comes in. And I'm so excited. I kneel down and I kiss his ring. And then he spoke some words to me. And the hairdresser said, he spoke to you? Well, what did he say? And she said, well, he said, where did you get that lousy haircut? Where did you get that lousy haircut? Wow. Well, I guess the question today is, why would I tell you that crazy, lousy story? I tell you that story because it really is all about consciousness. Our life unfolds according to the consciousness that we bring to whatever we are doing. And so clearly the consciousness of the hairdresser and his client were worlds apart. Consciousness. It's a term that we throw around a lot. But what exactly does consciousness mean? If we look it up in the dictionary, we will find that it means the quality or state of being aware, especially of something within oneself. Or it is the upper level of mental life of which a person is aware versus the unconscious processes of the body. But what about in the context of our spiritual life? In the context of our spiritual life, consciousness is the totality of beingness that we bring to the table of our lives. Let me say that once again. Consciousness, in the spiritual context, consciousness is the totality of beingness that we bring to the table of our lives. Buddha said it a little differently. And he used the word mind, but this is the same thing. This is what he meant. When it is not understood, there is nothing able to cause as much harm as the mind or consciousness. When it is understood, there is nothing able to give as much benefit as the mind or consciousness. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at understanding what consciousness really is all about. We're going to go through 7 elements of consciousness today, and then I'm going to add an 8th aspect that brings it all together. And as we look, I invite you to ask yourself, where am I in this aspect of my beingness? Through this aspect of beingness, am I creating a life of peace, fulfillment, and joy? And does this aspect of my beingness serve me well when life throws a curveball? If the answer is yes, well, that's fantastic. Keep on keeping on. And if the answer is, well, not so much, or not as much as I would like, not so much lately, then there is a call for expansion and further understanding. So let's take a look, okay? The first one, the first element of consciousness is what? Now, if you're thinking thoughts, you're absolutely correct, because the first element of consciousness is thoughts. Now, Marcus Aurelius, who was the Roman emperor and philosopher, said the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. That's not really a surprise to us, right? We know that our thoughts create our experiences, but what may be a surprise is the mountain of scientific research to support that statement. For example, a few years ago, a team of researchers at Boston's Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center recruited 66 migraine headache patients in an attempt to quantify how much of their pain relief came from a medication and how much was due to a placebo effect. And they called the placebo effect the healing power of positive thoughts. Wow, right? The placebo, the healing power of positive thoughts. So first, the patients had to agree to forego pain relievers for several hours during one migraine attack and record their symptoms for comparison with later headaches. So for each of the next 6 migraines, they were given a different pill inside an envelope with a different message. Sometimes they were told that what was in the envelope was an effective migraine drug called rizatriptan. Other times it was a placebo, suggesting there would be no benefit. And other times the pill could be either one. And of course, what they were told on the envelope was not necessarily what was in the envelope. So 450 headaches later, reports of pain relief more than doubled when told the migraine drug was real versus when they were told falsely that it wasn't. And nearly as much pain relief was achieved from a placebo they thought was the real drug, and nearly as much as when they took the real drug believing that it was fake. Wow, our thoughts, what we think, is powerful. The lead researcher said the more we gave a positive message to the patient, the bigger the placebo effect was. Our thoughts are powerful in creating our experience. Our thoughts matter. What we think matters. And the question today is, can you afford the consequences of your thoughts? Can you afford the consequences of your thoughts? If the answer to that is yes, right on, keep on keeping on. But if the answer is more like what I was thinking, then some expansion of conscious awareness of your thoughts may make a difference for you. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, stand guard the portals of your mind. Allow only thoughts that support the life you desire to enter and be held in your mind. Thoughts are a powerful element or aspect of our consciousness. The second element of consciousness is feelings. Thoughts are important, but the feeling behind them is what gives them juice. It's what gives them power. Charles Fillmore, in Atom Smashing Power of the Mind, said zeal, which is a feeling of enthusiasm, zeal is the great universal force that impels man to spring forward in a field of endeavor and accomplish the seemingly miraculous. It is the inward fire that urges man forward. Whew, wow, it's a powerful statement about feelings. Esther and Jerry Hicks, in their book, Ask and It Is Given, give us a scale of 22 emotions, suggesting that at the bottom of the scale, where we experience things like fear, grief, and powerlessness and depression, we are disconnected from our true nature and therefore not creating a life of peace, fulfillment, and joy. But at the top of the scale, where we are feeling joy, knowledge, freedom, empowerment, appreciation, we are creating that life of peace, fulfillment, and joy. So when when we feel ourselves sliding down that scale, it is important to allow ourselves to feel our feelings, but it's also important for us to consciously reach for a higher feeling. Maybe not all the way from down here feeling fear and desperation, all the way up to joy and anticipation, but we can get from fear to perhaps hopefulness or contentment. That's a little bit easier of a step. And so we reach for a higher energy, a higher feeling than the one that we are currently in. And we build ourselves up to a higher energy where we indeed are creating a life of peace, fulfillment, and joy. It's kind of like, well, how do we do that, you might ask? We do that by shifting our thoughts. Shifting our thoughts. It's like the little engine that could. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Holy cow, I can, right? Feelings are a vital aspect of consciousness. They're a vital aspect of what we bring to the table of life. And it's worth it to us to acknowledge our feelings when they aren't where we want them, and then to reach little by little for higher feelings that bring us into a higher consciousness. So feelings is number 2. Number 3, 4, and 5, we're going to look at together because these 3 are very interconnected and interwoven. 3 is beliefs, 4 is values, and 5 is attitudes. Beliefs are the thoughts and feelings we have accepted as truths. Not just the thoughts and feelings we have, but the thoughts and feelings we have accepted as truth. Whether they're true or not, they are what we have accepted. Values are the things that we believe are important. They may be important, they may not be important, but we believe that they're important. And our attitudes are our outlook on life based on beliefs and values. An example would be that centuries ago, the earth was flat. Now, it wasn't really flat. It wasn't true that it was flat, but it was a very closely held belief by the vast majority of people. That's a belief. In this case, not true. And if you valued your life, then you wouldn't sail past the horizon because you would fall off, right? So you value your life, you adhere to the belief. And if someone did do that, or someone did suggest sailing past the horizon, they were seen as crazy. That's an attitude. It's important that our beliefs, values, and attitudes align with our highest truth, our highest understanding of truth. So it's helpful to occasionally ask ourselves, what do we believe? What do we believe about ourselves? Do we believe that we're not good enough or that we're not worthy? Or do we believe that we are an amazing expression of God? What do we believe about God? Do we believe that God is a judgmental, vengeful God in the sky throwing down lightning bolts? Or do we believe that God is the essence of divine love, permeating all that is? And what do we believe about how creation occurs? Do we believe that we are the victims of circumstance? Or do we believe that we are empowered to create a life of peace, fulfillment, and joy? It's helpful to ask what our beliefs are. It's also helpful to ask what our values are. And how do we know what our values are? The answer is to simply look at your behaviors. Our values are based on our beliefs. So, how are we behaving? And are they aligned? Are our values aligned with our highest understanding of truth? And then ask, what attitude do I have? What attitude or outlook on life am I holding? Is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? And I would suggest that there's a third possibility, a higher possibility. The glass is always refillable, right? The glass is refillable. That's a great attitude to hold. So that's 3, 4, and 5. Beliefs, values, and attitudes. The 6th element of consciousness is our words. Our words are powerful. Our words are a vibration that creates in the world. It creates for us and creates for others. They manifest our thoughts and ideas and our beliefs and our values. And they can be summed up, I think, beautifully in these words from Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, in his book, Talks on Truth. He says, the personal consciousness is like a house with all the doors and windows barred. The doors and windows of the mind are concrete ideas, and they swing open when the right word is spoken to them. The right word is referring to our affirmations, for our using our words to affirm the truth in our lives, to use our prayers with affirmations of truth. An equally powerful statement comes from Myrtle Fillmore. If you want the love to grow, watch the little words you sow. One of my favorite quotes. It's on my Facebook page as my favorite quote. So if you want peace, fulfillment, and joy to grow, watch the words you sow. Watch the thoughts you hold in mind. Watch the words you use to describe the world and the things that are occurring in it. Watch those words, because your words are powerful, as are your actions. The 7th element of consciousness is action. Action is the movement of will, and creation cannot fully unfold unless there is action. And there is a kind of magic in the commitment of an inspired action, an action that is aligned or in spirit, aligned with a higher understanding of truth. It's suggested, in a sense, in this quote from a book from W.H. Murray, who wrote a book called The Scottish Himalayan Expedition. He says, until one is committed, there is always hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. And that elementary truth is that the moment one definitely commits oneself, and then providence moves too. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance. Once one commits to taking a higher action and steps forward to taking that higher action, all manner of support flows directly to us. A whole stream of events issues from that decision and that step forward. There is magic in the commitment to and the taking of inspired action, which is the 7th aspect of consciousness, of what we bring to the table of life. And so finally, add to that, those 7 aspects of consciousness, this 8th aspect of consciousness, and that is reactions. How do we react? How do we react when life throws us a curveball? How do we react when we get an undesirable diagnosis or an unexpected repair bill? Or when we lose our job or our business, or find ourselves spending months in lockdown, unable to go get a haircut or hug our grandchildren? Is it, oh no, this is terrible, how awful is this? Or on the other side of that, conversely, what is our reaction when abundant good falls unexpectedly into our laps, that something we weren't expecting that blesses our lives? Is it, I can't believe it, it's a miracle? Well, those are two opposite poles of how we react. But I would suggest that neither one truly supports our highest and best, or our highest good, or our highest understanding of truth. A better way for us to learn to react is with confidence. Confidence in our inherent creative power and our ability to create peace, fulfillment, and joy. And manage our consciousness from that awareness, no matter what's going on or what life throws us. So there you have it. 8 aspects of consciousness: thoughts, feelings, beliefs, attitudes, values, words, actions, and reactions make up the totality of our beingness that we bring to the table of our lives. And when this is fully understood, there is nothing able to give us as much benefit. When we bring this totality into alignment with the ideal of ever increasing, always refillable good, of God as divine love permeating all things, we bring to the table of life the power to create a life of joy, peace, and fulfillment. And although we may not be able to control the weather outside, we can definitely control the weather, as in whether or not we will create a world that works for all. God bless.
Oh, you're looking good.
Oh, nice,
That's the way to go.
nice.
Okay.
Much better, much better.
That's it.
Here we go. Yeah. Where the lady says it's gonna rain. You know what, Shelley? What? I don't think so. Where the man says hunker down. Yeah, I don't think so. Don't you know I control the weather? Whether or not I have myself a good day. Don't you know I control the weather? And today I call for a beautiful day. Yeah! Forecast is clear skies, gentle breeze and a sweet high. Sing with me. Forecast is clear skies, gentle breeze and a sweet high. Don't you know I control the weather? Whether or not I have myself a good day. Don't it's gonna be a spectacular day. I control the weather inside, whether I choose to boldly love or let fearful thoughts cloud my sky. Woo! Yes, forecasting clear skies and gentle breeze and a sweet high. Don't you know I control the weather? Whether or not I have myself a good day. Well, don't you know I control the weather? And today it's gonna be an amazing day. Hey, little high five.
Well, thank you once again for joining us this morning for our music and spiritual message. I hope you enjoyed that message, and I hope you enjoyed that final song by Kim Char Meredith and Shelley Siebert, I Control the Weather, because we truly do control the weather or not. We will create that life of peace, joy, and fulfillment. And so I hope you've enjoyed this service and the music, and I invite you now to take a moment to bless the Spiritual Life Center. And you can do that through, of course, your love and your prayers, and also through your financial support. And so I invite you to take whatever gift that you choose to share today, whatever you can, and hold that in your minds and in your hearts as we pray together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And if you are able to share a financial gift with the Spiritual Life Center, you can do that in one of three ways. You can do that through our website, our secure website at www.slctroy.com/give. Or you can mail a check or money order to our mailing address at 41340 Fox Run Road, number 106, Novi, Michigan, 48377. Or if you prefer, you can call Reverend Ron with your credit card information at 248-925-6214. And I'd also like to welcome any newcomers, anyone joining us here on YouTube for the very first time. And if you are joining us for the first time, we invite you to visit our website and click on Join Email. This will put you on our mailing list, and we don't send a lot of emails, but this will help to keep you informed of events happening here at the Spiritual Life Center and help us to get to know you a little better. And if you are in need of prayer, if you have a prayer request for yourself or others, please feel free to email Reverend Ron at ronaldfscott@gmail.com or call 248-925-6214. And if you would like, he will also add your name to our weekly prayer list that is supported by several of our prayer partners. You can also call Silent Unity. They are available 24/7 to pray with you at 1-800-NOW-PRAY. And now I have a special announcement, and that is about our next Spiritual Variety Hour, which will happen on Wednesday, August 19th at 7 p.m. on Zoom. And it is titled Living as the Ark, a Mystical Approach to Spiritual Law. It is the first in several workshops that align with the book that I'm currently writing called Living as the Ark. It's a companion guide to the novel that came out a year ago on called The Mystical Ark. And you don't need to have read The Mystical Ark to take part in this workshop, which is really about looking a little more deeply at some of the spiritual principles I shared in the book and ways to incorporate them in our lives. So this is the first. You'll be the beta group taking part in this workshop that will later end up in a book. So I hope you'll join us for that, and look for your email to find the link for that on August 19th. And with that, following our peace song and our benediction, I invite you to join us for our Zoom connection time. That will start at 11 o'clock or immediately following the service. And you should have received an email with a link to that Zoom connection time, our virtual coffee hour. And if not, then I do invite you to contact us at slctroy.com for links to that coffee hour. And so with that, I invite you now to join together with us as we sing our peace song and our benediction.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now as you go forth, know that the light of God surrounds you, the love of God enfolds you.
The Lord bless thee and keep thee.
The power of God protects you.
The Lord make his face to shine upon thee, and be gracious unto thee.
The presence of God watches over you.
The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee, and grant thee peace.
Wherever you are, God is.
Amen. Amen.
Go your way rejoicing. All is truly well.